Hello, my name is Catherine Tomlinson, and I've worked in education for pretty much my whole life, except for a short break when I had my children. I've been a class teacher in London for all primary ages from 4 right up to the top of junior education. And I also taught in primaries and nurseries and a pre-prep in Cape Town for a few years before my daughter was born. Most recently, I was head of a prep school in London for 11 years. And this role, of course, included supporting and guiding staff, but also forming very close connections with parents. And probably the best bit of all was seeing the children grow and mature and then being poised to take the next step into senior school. I believe you can't really teach unless you are learning yourself. And gosh, did I learn a lot during this time. Outside of work, meditation has been a passion of mine for many years, and I'm now teaching meditation to adults and children and in schools. I'm also going to train meditation teachers for the British School of Meditation. Over the past year, I've had the great fortune to mentor new heads for the Independent School Association of Prep Schools. And I'm also absolutely delighted to be working with the team at Talk Education, advising parents on choices of schools for their children. So for 11 plus and transfer to senior school, I think it's probably helpful to start thinking about your options in year 4. This gives you a really sort of measured run-up to the process. So during this year and definitely during year 5, go and look at the schools if you can. If you can't, go on virtual tours, but go to open days, if possible, in person, and plan your shortlist. Get a feel for each school and then listen to your gut reaction. So I'd advise keeping your options open initially and then whittle down your shortlist to no more than 5 schools and register with them. Exams and interviews usually happen in January of year 6, and the results and place acceptances follow over the next few months. Now, just a little bit of advice. If your child receives multiple offers and you've made your decision, do let the schools know. Remember, there are other children and parents out there who may be on waiting lists. It's so important during this process not to be stressed or stirred up by school gate hysteria or dinner party chatter. You know your child, and so hopefully does your child's prep school. So listen to the advice of your prep school head. CAT scores and annual test results will give a very good indication of which schools would suit your child academically. But also, make sure that you consider the schools that will offer your child the best advantages for their skills. Not everyone is in the top 5% academically, and nor should they be. I think it will be interesting to see how the school scene changes with the departure of many families to the country over the past year. Historically, the pressure on places in London has been very high, but this may change. So overall, my advice is be realistic. Get a really good feel for the schools you're considering. Look at their extended curriculum and strengths. And most importantly, try not to get stressed by what other parents are saying. And this isn't always easy. What's most important during these exciting and challenging senior school years is that your child is happy, settled and supported, and then they can achieve their best. My recommendation is listen to the prep school head, but do your own research. And if you want more support, seek independent advice from the Talk Education Reviews or an advisor. This is such a thorny issue. Personally, I wouldn't recommend putting your child under a lot of pressure through masses of tutoring, evenings, weekends, but there may be aspects of the CAT tests or English and maths skills in which your child could benefit from one-to-one tutoring to realise their potential. For example, familiarisation with the format of the test papers and the speed needed to complete them can be very beneficial. But it's really a matter of balance and what is best for your child. There really isn't an absolutely perfect solution to nerves, but maybe these tips might help. So first, have a quiet evening the night before the exam or the interview. Have some family time. Suggest that your child has a bath, some relaxation, and an early-ish bedtime. Then on the morning, try not to rush. Have breakfast, make sure your child drinks some water, and then do some deep breathing. If you just take a breath in and then let it out, and do some yourself, because how you're feeling really can impact your child. So just ground yourself. And then lastly, my top tip would be smile and encourage your child to smile. Everything's going to be okay. Yes, this can be extremely challenging, both for the parent and for the child. I would say be calm and supportive. Don't loudly express your possible disappointment, as this really could unsettle your child, and you need to be there to support your child's emotions and expectations. So just be calm. You could ask the prep school head if they've had any feedback from the schools and for their advice. And then be positive. Look with your child at the school that they will be going to and everything that's on offer there. So my first top tip would be, don't get caught up in the hysteria. What's right for one family isn't necessarily right for yours. Second tip, include your child in the discussions and respect their view. But don't inflate their expectations or put pressure on them. Then they'll be able to take the whole process in their stride. And third tip, relax. There are plenty of experts and professionals out there to help you. And in my experience, nearly every child in the process settles down in their new school.